This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Laura Lewis, and Helena Jacobsen. And before we get into things today, we have a whole list of people who have renewed their annual pledge on patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. So thank you so much to Andrew Neal, Dave Inar, David Toole, C.D. Harris, Hannah Gann, Smoke It Man, Zachary, Antoine Benoit, Eva, Shane Christie, Maureen, Connor Tubesing, MKM, and Michael and Serena Williams. So thank you so much for your continued support. We really, truly appreciate it.
This is Uno Bloody Nemesta, and you're listening to the Goat Kissers from the Wheel Weaves podcast.
In this episode, we are talking about the first part of the prologue of the next book. Book 13. What's it called? Something about midnight.
Towers of Midnight.
Towers of Midnight.
Not the Towers of Midnight, not a Tower of Midnight.
ToM.
Towers.
Towers, plural,
of Midnight. Yep.
Of Midnight. Got
yes.
it. Okay, I'll hopefully remember that for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, you have a lot of chapters to learn it.
Okay.
So, we are also covering the first 3 perspectives in this episode.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, you said first part. We're doing 3 and 3, breaking it in half.
3 perspectives, there's 6 perspectives. Okay.
Yeah.
And we certainly have some perspectives to talk about.
We do.
We have some things to talk about.
I feel bad. I felt like I've been lying to you for a while.
That's because you're always lying to me.
I've been going along.
That's why you feel that way.
I've been going along with stuff you've been saying.
Yeah, it's been 5 years of that. I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah, so we have some stuff we got to talk about this episode, about some characters who may or
gosh.
not be alive. It's, I just
my gosh.
I feel bad. But
I feel good. I feel fun. I feel
okay.
I feel fun.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have some fun.
We're going to have fun today.
I'm not mad, in case you're wondering.
Really?
Like, I'm not upset.
Really?
No.
Is that you've been working really hard. You might be delirious and tired, though.
You've pretty tired.
You've been doing a whole thing today.
Literally today.
Yes.
Our entire setup.
You did a setup. You did a thing because we're in our new house.
Yes.
New space.
Yes.
You turned this into a podcast area.
You wouldn't stop complaining about the couch.
Yeah.
So, I got new chairs.
Yeah.
I put up our bookshelves.
And I'm concerned about they look solid.
You don't need to be concerned.
There's a lot of books here.
Yeah, it's structurally sound.
You've done a lovely job, and it's pretty amazing. I think, because you've put pictures on social media.
I have.
And such.
Check it out.
Okay, do that. And also, we'll be doing The Gathering Storm recap on the Dusty Wheel.
Ooh, and now we have our new background.
It's going to be ready. At least this half of the room it's ready.
Yes. That's all they need.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about the rest of the room.
It is like a TV show
this
family.
Half of the room.
There's only half of the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have a chapter to talk about here.
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot to talk about.
Okay. Are you starting us off with something you normally start us off with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that I've done pretty much every book so far.
Is it word count?
It is.
Okay.
And just kind of like an overview of what we're looking at this book. I do that for the first couple chapters.
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, we've got a prologue, 57 chapters, and an epilogue to go through.
Whoa.
And that makes it the longest in the series if we're counting the prologue and epilogue as chapters. Because The Shadow Rising had 58 chapters, but no prologue or epilogue. So technically, Towers of Midnight has 59 total.
Ooh.
Okay?
Okay.
But by word count, comes in at 325,997.
So many.
Puts it only in 5th place.
Oh,
who cares?
not even longest.
Who cares? Most chapters, but they're a bunch of shorty chapters.
Okay, shorty chapters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the fun fact, and let's do this. Towers of Midnight.
Okay. However, I do have to talk about where I was this weekend.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I didn't talk about this at all.
You did a thing.
I did a thing.
Right.
I went to WatCon.
You did.
In Ohio.
You surprised everyone.
I did. I just showed up. I was like, you know what? I really want to go. And you said you should do it.
Yeah.
And so I did. I went, and it was so fun. It was so great.
Yes, and next year, I think will both go.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
I think you should. You would enjoy it. It was really fun. I think lots of people should go.
Yes.
It was great, actually.
Yeah.
I met Michael and Kate.
Nice.
The narrators.
Yes, of the audiobooks.
Yeah. And whoa, can Michael kick it on the dance floor.
I think that's supposed to be like a secret, though.
I don't think so. It was amazing. It was so great.
If you want to dance with the audiobook narrators.
Guy Roberts was there. Got to hang out with him again.
Yeah.
Of course, Maria.
Of course.
Was there.
Problem. I heard you got shushed by Maria.
I got shushed by Maria. I know. Because I wasn't on any panels because I showed up last minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to go as a fan. I'm not going to go do the whole podcaster thing. I'm just going to go hang out. But sitting in a panel.
Couldn't help yourself.
I could not. I couldn't. And Maria shushed me and it was the highlight of my whole weekend.
I think we should make like a pin for that or something. Like I got shushed by Maria.
I was shushed by Maria.
Yeah. Okay. Something like that.
Absolutely. I'm going to need it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to talk about that because that was lots of fun. And I read this prologue on the plane yesterday.
Very exciting.
On my way home.
Okay, so. Maybe that's why you're all happy and positive about it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, this is okay for me.
Okay. Yep. Well, let's get into it.
Okay. So the prologue has a title. It is called Distinctions.
Yes, it does.
Except before the prologue actually starts.
Yeah, we have to do the
There
thing.
is an excerpt.
Yes.
From Loyal's book, The Dragon Reborn.
There is, which is very exciting because, I mean, that has to mean he's either, like, working on it or is publishing it or published it and it's the future. Like, who knows?
Who knows?
But we got a little bit of a piece of, and it's about Loyal. That's what I love so much.
Yeah. He's like, it's about me.
There's got to be at least one chapter
and I like
about
it's
me.
Sort of like remember that guy and what he's doing?
Remember Loyal, how great and important Loyal is to the plot?
Yeah,
well,
remember what he's
done
doing?
Things,
yeah.
Yes. So the summary is, hey, everything was going badly, and the Ogier were going to take their flying spaceship up to their home planet, but then Loyal started to talk. And I think everyone listened. Okay.
But we don't know the outcome.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't. But that's cool. Basically what we get.
It's kind of cool.
You know, I think it's pretty cool.
It's neat.
It's a lot more artistic than that. Like, flowery.
Yes.
In language.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the
Loyal way.
That's what it is. And he was nervous. He was nervous before he was going to talk.
Oh, but then so calm, cool, collected.
Yes.
So ready.
Yeah. People underestimated him.
Shouldn't have.
Nope. For sure.
Okay. So the chapter symbol for the prologue is the wheel and snake.
Yes.
Which makes sense to me.
Tradition.
And we are going to enter in a land perspective, and he is just trekking across the borderlands alone.
Can I tell you something?
Being all broody.
I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
This very nearly gets my favorite chapter of the book because of the land perspective.
Really, huh?
Very close. Very close.
It's pretty good.
It's so fucking amazing.
If it gets mine, it's because of the grand old perspective.
I know, right?
Spoiler.
Did you read the whole prologue?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you did. Okay.
I
We're not even talking about those. We're just going to do the first three, though.
I did read. I almost stopped.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I feel weird about reading on when we're not going to be talking about it yet.
Yeah.
But I couldn't not. You told me I could.
I gave you the go ahead. Yeah. So, okay. Anyways, very close.
Yeah.
This is an amazing perspective. Okay, go.
Okay. We enter in Lan's perspective. And the last time we saw Lan, Nynaeve had dropped him off as far away as possible from Tarwin's Gap.
Yep.
And
Tricky.
Then she gatewayed to spread word that Lan was coming and raising the golden crane and who's gonna ride with my husband.
Yeah.
Shall he ride alone?
No, he freaking won't.
No frickin' way.
No, he's not.
No heckin' way.
Okay, here's the thing.
Except he certainly wants to.
He does. He's also, debatably, he's not that far yet because he was dropped off in Saldea.
No, this is almost like a rewind. It's rewind. We're back in time.
He's still in Saldea. He hasn't even gotten to the next nation
No,
yet.
I think this is like literally the next day after Nynaeve has dropped him off.
Probably within a few days.
Yeah.
Because like this dude left immediately. Anyway, Joan ahead. Okay.
Okay. All right. So Lan is riding Mandarb through Saldea, and he can see the blight off in the distance, and he's thinking, that frickin' woman.
Yeah. Because she's acting like a nice Sedai. She picks up real fast.
Yeah.
She's smart. Now she's
but
tricksy.
He also fears for her.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So he fears that she fears about him. Like, he feels bad that she feels afraid for him.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah. He's accepted his fate, but he's like, the whole stoic Lan thing. Can't accept other people feeling feelings about him.
No, never.
Such. Okay.
Okay. So, Lan is keeping watch because
It's the blight.
It's the blight, and you don't want to feel too comfortable.
Yeah, there's not. We got a hint that there's not a lot happening here.
Literally nothing.
There's nothing.
There's literally nothing happening.
They prefer to assault Meridon, and on the map,
The Trollocs, you mean?
the Trollocs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They prefer to assault Meridon, which is that city
up
right
over
there.
there.
It's right there. It's on
Cool.
the map.
There it is.
Okay, that's what they like better. Not this middle of fucking nowhere.
Freaking nowhere land.
Okay.
Yeah, because they like to eat humans, and
Right.
when there's no humans, they don't go
like
there.
that, yeah.
Go where the food is.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoever said Trollocs weren't smart? I don't know.
Narg smart.
Narg very smart. He
Yes.
went where people are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I tell you that Matt Hatch did a Trolloc impression on a dare
Did he? Was
at
it
opening
good?
ceremonies at
Was
WalkCon?
It was either like great or like
It was like he tried,
okay.
and then he passed it off to Guy Roberts, who did an excellent Trolloc.
Okay.
And
okay.
then, Narg.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yep, anyway.
So this is the good part where
Ugh.
Lan is traveling, nobody's around, but then he hears the rocks roll down the cliff, and
Oh,
he's like,
no.
"Oh, who's there? Who's that? What's that?"
Except that he doesn't let on that he knows.
No, he doesn't
Yeah,
because he's smart. See,
mhm,
but then this dude just like comes over the hilltop.
Yeah.
And it's just a dude.
And he's like, "Hey, bud.
Hey.
So glad I found you. I brought you supplies.
So here's the funny thing.
Surprise, I bought supplies."
Okay, Lan's like, do I know you? Because this guy's like, hey, Lord Mandragoran, I found you.
Yeah.
This guy's like the biggest stan, apparently.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
And Lan is like, who are you?
Yeah.
Do I know you? Turns out
It's me, Bulin.
we do know him.
Yeah.
We've met him before.
Ooh.
We met him.
Wait.
We saw
me
him.
and you?
Me and you. We met this. He's a real dude. I'm joking. No, we met him in the book in New Spring.
No, I know that's what you mean.
Oh, okay.
Oh, in New Spring.
Well, yeah, it's 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Well, he says it because Lan's like, "Hey, Bulin, it's you
From Candor?
from That was 20 years ago."
Oh, that was in New Spring? I don't remember a lot of New Spring, actually.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So Bulin was in New Spring. He was a kid at that point. He was like Lan's messenger boy when he visits the palace there. And Bulin did a great job shining Lan's boots, and he got a silver penny from Lan for it.
So cool.
Good.
A lot of good detail.
That's the guy, and now he's here.
Okay, anyway, so he now is going to help Lan because Lan clearly doesn't have any supplies because he thought he was going straight to where he needed to go.
Exactly.
And turns out doesn't. And Lan's like, "Leave me alone. I'm just going to go forage." And Bulin's like, Nope.
Nope.
No, you're not. This place sucks.
So specifically, though, why is he here? Is because he heard news?
Oh, that the golden crane was raised.
Right. So that's Lan's the Malchieri flag.
Yeah.
Right?
And Lan says, "Go home. You're wrong. Nynaeve is wrong. Everybody's wrong.
I did not raise the golden crane. That did not happen.
And it is never happening.
Yes.
I don't need you. Go
Okay.
away."
So Lan's being a butthead.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Bulin starts arguing
Mm-hmm.
because, like, well, what about that whole thing where it's like, hey, my father was Malchieri, I'm technically Malchieri, and they're all dead. My parents are dead,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to tell me that I can't follow you?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the Malchieri, was that at some point we're going to follow Lan and the Golden Crane. Like, that's
Yeah.
the point, guys.
That's the whole idea.
That's the whole idea. That's their entire thing.
And then Lan can't help himself. He stops and he looks at this guy.
Yeah, because he's, like, trying to, like,
Ride
ride past.
away.
He's trying to just, like,
Yeah.
ignore him completely. You can't do that.
But Bulin is holding the Hidori,
Right. The little
the leather cord.
leather cord, hold your hair back.
And he says, "I would wear this, but I don't have anybody to ask if I can." And that's the tradition, right, Lan?
Because Lan, remember, his parents are both dead.
Yes.
So don't forget that.
Don't forget, Lan.
I love this guy because he's 100. He finally meets Lan, who's like this mythical figure
Yeah.
in the world. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows about
Don't
this guy.
meet your heroes, kids.
Except for Lan. Because,
Well,
I mean,
okay.
even that, he's like trying to be a bit of a, jerk and brush him off.
Well, he's trying to go die by himself, and
He's
people keep
doing his
trying
best.
to stop him.
But I love that Bulin, like, calls him out. And he's
Yeah.
like, are you going to tell me that I can't go and fight for the world? Like, are
Yeah.
you gonna try and stop me here? Like, come on.
And Lan's like, "Go and do whatever you want. Just leave me alone."
Yeah. You
Yeah.
could go fight for Rand. You could fight for your own queen.
You could fight for lots of things.
There are options here.
But no, he wants to fight by Lan's side.
Right. By his king's side.
Aw.
It's so sweet.
And now Lan knows he can't deny Bulin.
Yeah.
So he goes, fine, but we ride anonymously and we do not raise the flippin' golden crane, okay?
Yeah.
You tell nobody who I am. And Bulin's like, okay, boss.
Wink.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay.
And then
We're not telling anybody.
tells him that he can wear the Hidori with pride.
Yeah. And this is the best line. This is like the line that basically wins it.
Okay, say it.
And with that, the 1 became 2.
And
And you know.
You know. We know. I know.
Yeah.
know.
We're getting at least 4 guys on this crew.
Oh my gosh.
At least.
We
like,
are
come
going
on.
to get so many. And
This is
Lan
like,
is going to
hype
be
train, hype train.
miserable about it.
He's going to hate it.
He's going to hate it so much.
You think Perrin hates leadership? Just you wait.
Just
Lan,
you wait.
Lan invented that shit,
Just
man.
you wait.
Oh, man.
He's
I'm so
going to
excited.
really, really not like that.
Okay, so also one little side piece I do have to point out here. Because
Okay, tell me, though, why you like it so much.
This is the hype train. This is
Oh.
the hype train. We're riding the hype train to the last battle. Lan is the engineer. He's going woo woo,
Yeah.
and we are collecting
No, he's
all.
not. No, he is not the engineer.
Okay,
He's so unwilling.
I'm the engineer going woo woo,
Yeah, you
and
are.
Lan's just shoveling the coal into the steam engine because I don't know. That's how trains work, I think. But anyways,
They sure used to.
that's what we're doing here. Oh, it's so exciting.
Okay, what do you want to point out?
Okay, so Lan technically was, in his mind, allowed to tell Bulin to go away because he promised Nynaeve that he would let anybody ride with him. But Bulin doesn't have a horse, so he's not technically riding, so he can technically say go away without breaking his oath to Nynaeve.
Yeah.
But then he's like, okay, that's too slippery, and then decides against it. So,
Okay.
yes.
There you go.
Woo woo.
Woo woo, hype train. All aboard?
Yeah, let's get going.
All aboard?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay. So, I'm not changing it. It's not my favorite in the book, but it's really good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a strong opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Plus, we love Lan. Like, who doesn't love Lan?
Yes. And
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's
okay.
it. Okay.
Let's go into the less exciting
Well,
second perspective. Okay.
it's certainly interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's a dream.
Yeah, and dreams are weird.
Yeah. And this is like regular dream. It's not even like wolf dream. It's
Well-
not. Well, he says it's not.
Yeah, but
like,
Hopper's there.
that's okay. Hopper can be in regular dreams. We know that. We've seen that.
Okay.
That's like how it started.
I know that, but now we're here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's begin this.
Okay, so we are in Perrin's perspective. Perrin is currently doing the things he loves most, and it is
Blacksmithing.
blacksmithing.
There you go.
Of course. And
Yeah.
he's like clanging around.
It's
and
not
he
annoying
just,
to him. He
and
loves
he loves it.
blacksmithing.
He loves blacksmithing, except he's kind of sucking at it right now.
Right.
And he's like, Master Luhad's gonna be so mad at me.
Yeah.
I
it's one of
suck
those.
at this.
It's one of those dreams where like you're doing
This
everything
is
bad.
shoddy work.
It is shoddy.
You know, one of my reoccurring dreams as a teacher
Sure.
is I'm writing on the whiteboard
Okay.
and I can't write straight.
Oh, crooked.
And I keep having to erase it and write it again.
okay.
And like behind me, all the kids are like having a bad time.
Sure.
But all I need to do is just like write on the board properly, and I can't do it.
Loaded question. Is
Yeah.
it angling downwards or
Down.
upwards?
Always,
Oh,
yeah.
that seems worse.
Yeah.
You know how they say it's all downhill from here?
Except I thought that was good.
I know. Who knows?
Oh,
Who's to say?
not me.
Okay. Not
Anyway,
not
so
your
I get
dreams.
this. I get it. I get the dream.
Yeah.
I've had this dream.
Well, here's the thing, and he knows that this whole blacksmithing thing, it's like an analogy about how you have to understand the pieces of the puzzle to put things together. Yeah, even something as simple as a nail, because like, you know, blacksmithing and stuff.
Oh God, it's so long.
There's pieces.
It's just I thought I was missing Perrin, and I was like, okay, it's been a while. I can be in Perrin's head.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And you're like, okay, that was enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So Hopper is also saying, understand the pieces, Perrin. You can do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But Hopper doesn't know because he doesn't understand blacksmithing very much. He's a wolf.
Yeah.
So it's all very confusing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Also, he's not an apprentice. He's a married man.
So weird.
Like what?
This is
what
so
is
crazy.
what does this have to do with
Things should be better
blacksmithing?
now, and it's way worse somehow.
It's like okay, so like that's the real problem. Is
I
that
think that things should be better between him and Fail since rescuing her.
yeah? It's kind of like he's
And
doing the
things are
blacksmithing.
not good.
Yeah, he's doing the blacksmithing because the relationship isn't going well.
Which makes so much sense to me. Doesn't it make sense to you?
Well, it's like when one thing is not going well, you revert to the thing that you like to do, and you're doing that.
Okay.
You know, that's like a thing, probably.
Psychology and such.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, and Hopper also has
Hopper the therapist.
Has some advice.
Yeah.
And we've heard Hopper's advice before, and Wolf's advice in general before.
Okay, so turns out Perrin needs to fix things with his wife.
By spending time with his wife.
Yeah, but Perrin's like, I don't really think I have time to spend time with her.
There is no time. There's so many things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like his next mission.
Which is?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know yet.
Well,
Maybe
who
there
knows?
is one.
Maybe there is. It doesn't.
I certainly don't find that out in this perspective.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Yeah. Leave me
Okay.
on the edge of my seat. I'm so excited to find it out.
Okay, let's talk about Hopper's advice for Perrin.
Okay.
How about you just leave?
Yeah.
With Fael, just leave.
Just go if you don't
Go.
like what you're doing.
You could just be not here anymore.
Yeah.
Perrin says can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do it for a weird reason. Because he says, oh, leaving would mean I'm giving in to being the wolf.
To being a wolf. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
It's-
avoiding responsibility, maybe?
Perhaps running into the woods by himself,
Right.
if that's what he's gonna do.
Sure.
I don't think so, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Perrin needs a therapist, and Hopper is not that.
No.
And this is not a very helpful conversation.
Except that Hopper's like, stop climbing back and forth over the same wall.
Okay, he actually gets Perrin good on that, because
Yeah.
that is 100% what Perrin does.
Yeah.
Like back and forth, like flip-flop
Yeah.
on all the decisions he's making.
Yeah.
So,
And Perrin's just still apparently struggling with this entire wolf thing, even though he's always using the wolves to help him.
well, except sometimes he doesn't as much as he should, and he feels bad about it. So but that's the flip-flopping, right?
Yeah.
That is literally the flip-flopping we've seen from Perrin since day one. Like, let's do the wolf thing. Oh, let's not. Oh, let's do it again. Now he's like,
Oh, it's helpful. I'm going to use them now,
Yeah.
but I actually don't like them.
but now he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not again. So that is pretty much what Hopper's saying, and I think he's right. I think he's got a very good point here. But anyways, let's get to the new normal weirdness of the dream.
Okay.
The next segment.
The
here.
next thing. Okay,
Yeah,
let
the
me
next
see
weird
here.
thing that happens.
Oh, okay. So this is where he's blacksmithing, and then he pulls this piece out of the barrel
Yeah.
that he's just made or something.
No. It's a quenching barrel. So like with blacksmithing, you heat things up.
Yeah.
And then you stick it in a bucket of water, basically, to like cool it down.
Yeah.
So it gets less like
Okay,
flimsy.
so he dives in there to get it.
He's using tongs to pull
He
stuff out of the
uses
quenching
tongs
barrel.
to pull it out
Because you can't. It's hot metal still.
because it's hot.
Yeah. So he's
Okay.
tonging things
Anyway,
out.
it's a small steel figurine in the shape of a man with a sword, and his face is all distorted, and it's Aram.
Oh my goodness! Shocking.
Stop blaming yourself
Shocking.
for Aram's death, Perrin.
Yeah, and I like Hopper's advice. He's like, "Hey, stop blaming yourself for
Just stop
Aram's
it.
death, man."
Yeah.
Because he's an idiot who tried to, fight you and lost.
Yeah.
And sucks, but like that happens.
Yeah. And Perrin's like, that's not common for humans, and that was bad for me.
But also, like, okay, Perrin, like, isn't it though? Like, isn't it common for like people to challenge leaders and then like try to overthrow them and then fail?
Yes.
Like that seems like
That's
a pretty
it. But not for friends. And
It's
I'm
like-
like, Perrin,
okay.
are you Aram's friend?
pump the brakes.
Are
Perrin.
you anyone's friend?
like that's a
Perrin
that's
at
a
this point?
yeah, like friend, like barely acquaintance
You know what?
in the same general camp.
Here's what I'm going to say about Eeyore Perrin.
Sure.
Eeyore still had friends. He didn't think anybody wanted to hang out with him.
Yeah.
But Pooh and Piglet and Tigger, they always showed up
Yeah, that's true.
to hang out with him.
That's a really good point.
And he had friends,
Yeah.
even if he's a mopey dude.
Yeah.
So maybe for Perrin, he legitimately considered Aram a friend.
Maybe.
He just doesn't really.
Would you argue
His
that
own-
Aram saw Perrin as a friend? Like, I don't know that I
I
would
think
even
originally, probably not anymore.
say that. I would
because-
say anything, he saw him as like a mentor, maybe.
Which
as a
is-
leader.
I mean, maybe a leader, but not so much a mentor because, like, they're the same age.
That doesn't matter so much.
It doesn't.
That part doesn't.
If anything, Aram should have saw Tam and Abel
Yeah.
as mentors. They were the ones training him on the
Well,
sword.
he kind of turned to them after Perrin, like, wouldn't, hang out with them.
I think we have Perrin's
Yeah.
own mental health to
Right.
his capacity to be a friend and a mentor
Not good.
was diminished. And that's why I actually don't think he had a duty to Aram.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Perrin fulfilled his duty to Aram by passing him off on like Tam and Abel to train him.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's only so much you can do. And I mean, I could argue that even in the beginning, sure, maybe he should have done more. But, like, how much responsibility is Perrin personally taking on this one guy?
I always thought that you thought Perrin should have watched out for Aram.
I feel like he dropped the ball for sure. My opinion's probably changed a few times, back and forth. I'm a flip-flopper like Perrin. But, I mean, at some level, it's not really his personal responsibility. Like, he's got the responsibility as a leader and a captain and a, you know, ruler who Aram hangs out with. Like, he stays by Perrin's side.
He,
and
like,
if anything,
tags along.
That's why
he's
he
like
has...
a tag-along.
Because you're letting him tag along with you, then you have some more extra responsibility to make sure he's okay.
And I think, realistically, Perrin didn't actually kill Aram. Aram died in battle.
Yeah.
And should Perrin take responsibility for everybody who died in that battle?
Well, if you're asking the opinion of, like, Rand or somebody else, then yes.
Well, no one should ask anybody's opinion of Rand.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
No. Rand's opinion of anything. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, yeah. I think we got enough there.
Okay.
So I could just go back and forth about responsibility.
That's fine. So Perrin looks out, he sees Malden now, and he sees an image of himself all big and muscly and
this is really
glowing
funny.
eyes and
he's like,
wicked looking axe. He's like, wow, that guy looks super good.
Yeah, do I really look that? No, he doesn't. He's like imposing.
I know.
Do I look that scary? And it's like, I don't know.
Well, that's his whole like complex, because even from book 1, he's like so gentle because he doesn't want to hurt anybody. His shoulders are wide.
But it's like, generally, man, you're pretty imposing and you kind of look angry and scary.
Yeah, but then he's like, wait, why do I have an axe? I threw that away.
Right.
This is wrong.
This dream is wrong. And Hopper's like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
He's like,
it does.
Because it does.
Yeah.
Okay, does it matter? Axe versus hammer?
I mean, to Perrin it matters, so then I guess it matters.
That is the point.
Yeah. Because he certainly did a lot of damage with that hammer.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because
weapon's a weapon, dude. Like, you literally murdered people.
But that's the thing; it's a very Aiel mentality. Because
it was Perrin.
Hear me out.
With the hammer in the field.
Yeah,
he still did it.
Playing Clue
he
here.
Still did the murder.
But hear me out. So there's a very Aiel mentality towards the whole. Aiel won't hold a sword because the only thing a sword is good for is killing.
Yeah.
Whereas other things can be used for multiple purposes, so there's a difference. And it's the same mentality Perrin has towards the axe, where it's only a tool of destruction, whereas the hammer can be used to create as well. So it's like, is there a difference? No, not really. But to the people, there is a difference. And I do kind of get that.
Okay.
But I also appreciate Hopper's response, because Perrin's like, that's not how it happened. Things are weird and different. And Hopper's like, yeah. It's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what happens
Perrin's
in dreams.
Like, why is it all weird? And Hopper's like, I don't know. Yes. It's not my dream.
Yeah, cool. Because Perrin blames Hopper. I'm just here hanging out with you. Like, why are you making me relive this? And Hopper's like, it's not
me.
This is you, man.
Yeah.
This is your own personal issues here.
Yeah. Okay, so he basically relives the whole thing with Aram.
Yeah, the Aram fight, the Perrin versus Aram thing that didn't really happen exactly that way. But this time, it's a shadowy figure of Perrin that breaks off and then, like, rips Aram's throat out. And then...
Oh, that sounds scary.
Yeah, and Perrin's like, that's not how it happened. And Hopper's like, yes, we've covered this already.
Yeah.
It's a dream. It's a dream, my dude.
Yeah, and then don't forget that Perrin is also very upset that some people he knew from the Two Rivers have also died.
Yeah.
And he gets their figurines from the barrel as well.
Yeah, well, that's the weird stuff, because he, like, starts pulling out more and more and more, and then there's, like, hundreds of figurines here. And then Perrin doesn't really know what this means.
But then Aram's statue breaks.
Yeah, and that's spooky because then, like, the creepy Aram... It reminds me of, like, the Dumbo scene where the freaky dream stuff is happening.
Like the big pink elephants.
Yeah, just like everything's weird, and the broken Aram statue pieces start doing weird stuff and, like, crawling towards Perrin, and he's like, ah!
Yeah, it is weird.
And then Hopper's
it's crazy.
Yeah. Hopper basically just kicks him out. He's like, okay, time to go, and boots him out of the dream.
You think Perrin ate some bad mushrooms, maybe?
Is that what happened in Dumbo?
No.
Okay.
No, Dumbo gets drunk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Combo. Something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, it's a bunch of weird stuff.
Mm.
Oh, and we get, like, a little tidbit here at the very end about what's been happening. Yeah. So, his party is currently holed up right now.
Okay.
Because they've been camping for a few days.
Yeah.
Because there's Bubble Evil. And
is this where they're camping under the statue? I was waiting for the mention of the frickin' statue.
We don't get that. We don't get that.
Some
mention,
sort of lineup. That would be great.
Yeah, we don't have that. So no. Anyways, weird little snakes bit a bunch of people, and a bunch of people are sick because the Aes Sedai were able to keep most of them alive, but they can't fully heal everybody.
Yeah.
So we're just hanging out here right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yep.
That's that for Perrin, who's not doing well.
Yeah. Little tidbit here, though. There's some weird laughter that Perrin hears when Aram's shards turn into the tiny hands and start crawling towards him. He does notice the little weird laughter stuff happening.
Interesting.
Just like a tidbit of like, is this like a Forsaken meddling, right, with dreams, or like
it's probable.
Adjacent weirdness?
It's adjacent.
Yeah.
And he's also not doing well.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. So he wakes up from his dream, and Fail is asleep beside him still.
Yeah.
And he tries to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Thanks, Perrin, for the perspective.
At least Fael's here still.
Yeah.
We get that little tidbit.
He didn't, wake up under a wagon or something?
Well, and that just calls to his mental capacities to be a mentor to anybody.
There you go.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't even keep himself healthy. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. That's it. That's it for Perrin.
That's that. Okay. Now, I'm really excited to talk about the next perspective.
Yes. Okay.
But we should take a quick break.
Get prepared for it.
And then be right back.
All right.
Okay. So we're back.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. And how's the chair holding up?
It's good. It's comfortable.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. You made good choices. Yeah.
Sometimes.
50% of the time.
Don't let it go to my head, okay?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, decorating I can do.
Yeah.
That is something I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
I know people want to hear about this perspective because there has been chitter chatter, I gotta say, in the Discord.
Not where I am.
Since since you've been so on board the Grendel is dead AF train.
I
Holy
certainly
moly.
have to rewrite my
You bit so hard.
updated Forsaken list. It didn't even occur to me that she wouldn't be dead.
Yeah. The plan was almost foolproof. It was almost foolproof.
Oh my god, it was. If what's her face hadn't have been there,
right,
then
things would
have been different.
If things were different, then things would have been different. Yes. It's usually how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm not upset about this.
Yeah.
Because I like Grendel.
Right.
And I was actually a little upset that she was gone.
Right.
Because she's one of the more entertaining villains.
Plus we do a little bit of a tradesies.
And
right?
Exactly. Okay. So it's not like nobody's crossed off the list.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be so unfortunate for Rand that he definitely thinks Grendel's gone.
For sure. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, okay, let's get into this.
I'll rewrite my list after this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to enter Grendel's perspective, and I was like, hold on now. What's happening here?
Yeah.
But we get a time shift where we're back in time at Natron's Barrow.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
Okay, I get to see it go down. That's cool. That's a cool perspective.
Maybe. I didn't even think that far.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, especially when it's clear that Erengar is here.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, update on where Erengar is.
Sweet, yeah.
Okay. And we're just hanging out. This clearly happened long before Balefire, so who am I to judge? I don't understand timestamps.
That's true.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Oh,
and then
my goodness.
all of a sudden, I was
like, wait, what?
Oh,
wait, what?
No. It was like slow motion, and I couldn't do anything to stop it.
And then you know it's going to happen, but you're like, maybe it won't happen that way.
But then I was like, oh, because she goes to jump through the gateway.
Right.
And then doesn't. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yes.
And I was like, so wait a minute. We got 2? Are you telling me we got 2?
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Okay,
There's a
it's
tradesies.
Good. We jumped up a little bit here in this perspective. Let's go through it.
And hold on. I just want to say that the worst thing for me is going to be going on the dusty wheel and pretending like I don't know this.
Yes, rewind your mind to just after we finish the Gathering Storm.
And I'm going to have to be like, haha, Grendel's dead. This is exciting.
Be like, here's the thing that I wrote down.
Yeah.
I wrote down, haha, so happy that Grendel is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am 100% confident.
And nobody said anything this weekend because I didn't read it before.
That's amazing.
I read it after.
You know what?
And nobody said one. And I was like, and it's so great. Grendel's gone. And like literally no one even spoiled anything.
You're a first-time reader, but you are our first-time reader.
Mm.
You know? Okay.
There were others.
But you know.
Aw.
You know.
Okay. Ready?
Let's do it. Now that we've talked about the chapter.
Back in time. Yeah, the whole thing. To Natrin's Barrow. Grendel is in her fortress sipping on wine, and Erengar is here with her.
Yeah.
And
Erengar being Helena. Right.
Boobalicious. We got boobalicious ladies.
Exactly.
Happening in this room right now.
Yes.
Now, Erengar. Erengar is all pent up because she thinks they should be doing something right now, but right now they're just all held up in some dusty corner of the world.
Yeah, well, and she's taking jabs here because she's like, we should be near important events
and then, doing things.
Yeah, and Grendel says, hey,
I'm offended.
Well, no, she doesn't. She's like, you of all people shouldn't want to be around important events because you are already dead once.
And
idiot.
You also ran away.
You got kicked out of your last place too. So, hey, idiot, tough love it is.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you shouldn't be giving advice, Erengar.
Right. But then Erengar's just going to go on complaining and poking because she finds these primitive people so interesting. Yeah. And they're missing on all the excitement that's happening around the world.
Yeah, because this is Balthamel, right? Yeah. And we know how Balthamel is.
For sure know exactly how Balthamel is. Me and him, best friends.
He's disgusting. He's the worst person.
He's gross?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Balthamel.
Oh, he's like...
Literally not one thing.
Okay.
Other than he was turned into this female because it's funny, because he doesn't really like females or something.
He has a habit of assaulting women.
Oh, so the Dark One has a pretty interesting sense of humor.
That's what some would say.
Okay.
Yeah. He's gross. He's a bad... You could say he's
really
one of the worst people
since
ever.
He's a Forsaken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some would say one of the worst.
Okay.
One of the 13 worst, some would say.
Okay. Some would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Dark One.
Yeah.
Said you're top 13.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Grendel is going to do something right now that is quite interesting because the power has been gifted to her.
And you certainly understand what's happening here.
Well, she's opening herself up to the true power.
Which is the Dark One's essence.
Which is super duper interesting that you have to be allowed to access it.
You're saying that like you didn't know that already.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I never thought it was that big a deal that Ron did it.
Okay.
Remember how I didn't think it was that big a deal?
No, for sure.
It's because I didn't understand that part.
You know what? Okay, to be fair, we don't get a heck of a lot of information on the true power. Not very much.
One.
We should lay out the tidbits here.
We get one information.
Okay, we've got like 2.5. So we already know that the true power, being the Dark One's essence, is much more exhilarating than the one power for whatever reason. It's more violent and chaotic and whatever.
It's a way crazier drug.
Way crazier. So she can fill herself with it, but she can only channel a thin trickle because it's a gift from literally the Dark One. The Dark One chooses who is allowed to use the true power.
Ooh.
I've made the argument
like that's what... But it was a gift from Moradin.
We don't know.
That's what Grendel says.
Yeah, well, we don't know that she's correct.
Well, I trust her.
And we also don't know that it was a gift from Moradin. Maybe it was a gift from the Dark One through the connection with Moradin. Like, we don't actually know.
I trust her.
Maybe the Dark One gifted it to Moradin, but the connection Moradin has with Rand just naturally allows Rand to be able to filter it through.
Perhaps.
Like, we don't actually know. We don't have enough information.
It's a lot of
hypotheticals. A lot of hypotheticals. So working with the true power is similar but not identical to the one power. A weave is often going to function slightly differently or have unanticipated side effects. And some weaves can only be crafted by the true power. Some stuff you can only do with the true power, not with anything else.
Okay.
Neat?
Yeah.
Okay. That leads to the philosophical idea that, of course, the Dark One is all the best. He's the best. Because this means that whatever the creator creates, the Dark One can unravel.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a bunch of philosophical...
It's hokey pokey.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yep.
It's an eternal truth, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get a sequence that I don't 1,000% understand, and I just want to skip.
Okay. So, Balthamel is like, oh, I really love the true power, because the Forsaken are like,
Aegonar.
No, Arengar. Aegonor was Osengar.
Oh, shit. What did I say?
Okay, Aegonor was the dude who invented Shadowspawn.
Okay.
He became Osengar, who posed as the Shiva,
Okay.
who got nuked off the hilltop.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
He gone.
Right.
Balthamel.
Except Osengar's in Limbo Land. We don't actually know what's going on with that guy.
Yeah, he didn't get balefired, but he got
so now,
nuked off the hill.
Arengar
was Balthamel,
Yeah.
who was posing as Halima, but is now just Arengar, is hanging out here.
Yeah.
But she gets all hot and bothered by the true power, and Grendel caresses her cheek and gets her all heated up, ready to go. And Arengar / Balthamel is disgusting.
Okay.
And then basically calls in Delana to come and satisfy the
Right, and
urges.
in case you forgot who Delana is.
Yeah.
Poor dark friend Aes Sedai.
Is she the... Like, this was...
I mean, like, medium.
Don't
she really didn't want this.
Don't join the evil club.
She didn't want this, though. She joined to just, do a little bad...
Just a couple murders and stuff.
Just a little bad
just
stuff.
Little,
she didn't want to be
power.
a freaking Forsaken's sex toy.
Yeah, so they start exchanging affections. It's
Quote,
really gross.
Exchanging affections, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's forcible. Like, it's gross. It's gross. It's a bad. They're Forsaken. We're not supposed to like the things that they do.
Fair.
Yeah.
But not good.
So if you weren't sure, like, should we feel bad that Arengar is gonna get disappeared off the map in a second here? Nah.
No, I would much rather them be gone.
For sure.
Than Grendel.
Exactly.
Okay. Except Grendel really sucks.
Grendel's also not a good person.
She's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible person.
Yeah.
Just more entertaining.
Sure.
More competent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like reading her as a villain
As a
better.
villain. Yes.
Yeah, I get
it.
it.
Me too. Yeah.
I get it.
Well, yes, me. You were talking about me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not advocating for people being like Grendel. You're just saying, I like reading Grendel as a villain. It's a good villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, suddenly, Grendel freezes because she hears an alarm go off in her own ears.
1,000 trumpets.
No. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Caca. Caca.
That bird isn't from here.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's from the Two Rivers.
Right. Oh, well. Okay. It's a silent alarm. The servants have triggered a silent alarm.
Okay, so Grendel casually gets up and strolls to the door and just leaves.
Yep.
And then halfway down her stairs, the captain of the guard comes to her and is like, hey, we captured a man who was approaching the palace. And then this is when I went, oh, okay.
And then you're like, oh, it's Ramshalan. And you're like, okay.
And I was like, Ramalama Ding Dong. I remember that dude.
That's the dude. That's the dude.
That's the dude from Rand sending him.
Yeah.
This is the sequence.
Idiot Ramshalan.
This is the sequence.
This is the sequence.
So Grendel quickly gets in an audience chamber.
Yeah.
And then Ramalama Ding Dong gets brought in.
Yeah. And like immediately he's gonna get compelled, so it doesn't really matter where she receives him.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
And then he just spills all the beans on exactly what's going on.
Yeah, because she compels
from his point of view. Because Rand was actually relatively careful.
Yeah.
To make him think.
Yeah.
You know.
Because Ramalama, Ramshalan, because in his mind he's sent here by the Dragon Reborn because Rand sucks and is incompetent and afraid and whatever. And Ramshalan thinks legitimately like he can
I'm gonna be the next.
I'm gonna be the next king, and if you make an alliance with me instead of Rand, then I'll give you favors.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just a big moron idiot.
Okay, so Grendel's pretty shook about all of this because Rand actually found her.
Yeah.
And sent Ramshalan to distract her.
Like, that's the scary part here.
And she immediately weaves a gateway to leave.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, shit, it didn't even cross my mind, like, what happened when Ramshalan went there.
Right.
Because he returns to Rand with the compulsion. Like, we get all the things that make it so there's no reason to suspect that literally anybody else could be doing this or have done it.
Yeah. It's great.
It's wild.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Wild writing.
Yes.
It is absolutely wild.
So
that's why I'm not mad about it, because it's just so good.
Well, so there's been discussion in a Discord too, because the whole is Taim Demandra thing, people love the bet that we had going, and that kind of occurred pretty naturally. Like, that was just in the moment it happened. And there's been discussions about bringing up other things that have happened or would happen as something to bet on. But I intentionally didn't You were so adamantly, you never questioned it.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Never crossed your mind. So I never had the opportunity to be like, okay, well, second bet on it.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't want to ruin that one. I just let it play
No,
out.
you did so good.
Okay.
You did so good on that one.
I would enjoy it. Yeah.
Actually, so impressed.
If I was more prepared,
little bit concerned at how well you can keep things from me. So
okay,
that one was really good.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a good reveal.
I wish I was prepared enough to like pull out an ice cream cake. I don't have one.
No.
It's been crazy, but
yeah.
If I was more prepared, I would like to hypothetically redo this moment.
Yeah.
And pull out an ice cream cake.
Okay.
There's no ice cream cake.
And what would the ice cream cake? What would it be for?
It doesn't matter. It's just an ice cream cake.
Oh, we have ice cream.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Oh.
It's not the same.
Okay. Popsicles? Okay. Want a popsicle?
No. Well, you know what? Maybe.
Okay. Got lots of phrases?
Sure. After. Okay. So, she's not gone. She makes a getaway, but then doesn't go.
But then she hesitates, and I went, because it was like back, forth. It was like a flip-flop of emotion reading this, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, she's going to go? What? How does that make any sense? And then she doesn't go.
Yes.
And I was like, oh.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way to trick me, guys. You got me.
Foolsies.
I fooled me. Okay.
Because she has orders to basically bring pain to Rand, and she's like, okay, if I abandon it now, like it's going to reflect poorly.
Whatever the reason, she does hesitate.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're supposed to antagonize Rand. That's the orders from, like, the Dark One right now.
Right.
We're in the end game. We need to do things, and running away isn't always an option right now.
Okay, so now, at this point, Erengar has followed Grandel and found her with this open gateway, and is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And Grandel's like, okay, listen, Rand found me, and this guy was sent here to make an alliance with me, but didn't tell him who I was, so it's like pretty crafty.
I mean, good for her for like telling the truth in this situation.
She is so flustered.
She is, yeah.
She's so flustered.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I gotta run away, and then Erengar's like,
yeah, run away.
Oh,
but
run
it's like,
away.
You just ran away.
And then it's like, okay, you just ran away from your rebel camp. So,
well, and Erengar is setting up like, oh, I didn't have a choice to run away because I was surrounded by enemies and I had to. That was the only option.
Yeah.
And Grendel technically has more options because she's not surrounded by enemies.
Yeah. And then she's like, hey, Erengar, does your Aes Sedai know compulsion?
Yeah.
And Erengar's like, kinda. So she goes to get to Lana, and then this is where I go, oh no. It's like starting to click together. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. No way.
Well, you know what I appreciate? Okay.
And I love it because it didn't predict it in a million years.
Here's the thing.
Did you predict it? How is this? How is this for you?
You watch TV with me. I have no clue what's happening.
I know.
I can't predict a freaking thing.
Do you remember reading this?
I mean, to the extent that you're like exactly the emotions you're talking about.
Yeah.
Again, this is why the prologue is like so good.
Yeah.
I thought Grendel was gone.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Okay, so it wasn't like a typical thing where everybody kind of like suspected that she wasn't gone.
I'm sure there's some people who say they knew.
Yeah, no, they're liars.
Okay. No, but and then it was like a year before the next book came out.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you're hit with is, what the heck? What? I thought we were... Because it's the whole thing about the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
From the beginning, you're like, we need to cross off more Forsaken faster than we are.
Yes.
What is happening?
And then all of a sudden,
they keep coming back.
I know, which is why I have this stupid list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, there's no time for this. Like, we have to get rid of more of them. Anyways, I have to add in a little bit of defense here, too, because I know there is a point of contention where some people make the argument that it's just, why would she possibly make Erengar and Delana put the compulsion instead of just doing it herself?
Yeah.
But
because she's crafty.
Well, and I like the fact that there is a lot of subtle gameplay happening here. She's doing that. So she immediately thinks that she's still safe.
Yeah.
She's scared.
Yeah.
But she still is under the impression that Rand will not kill any women. Thanks, Semirog, for switching that
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
Right? But she is in the tenuous alliance with Erengar, and right now, Grendel isn't trying to outplay Rand, necessarily. She's trying to prove that Erengar takes orders and serves her. She has this whole thought process about saying, like, Erengar... I need to make sure that she knows that I'm in control here in the power dynamic. And then she's ordering Erengar to order her own underling to do this, and then orders Erengar on top of that. So, like, there's a few levels to it, and then only later on does Grendel even realize what Rand's plan is. Like, from the beginning, she's got no clue that Rand is waiting for Ramshalan to come back.
Okay, I would argue a little bit.
Okay.
Because
I just want to give Grendel all the, like, credit.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of luck, too.
I would say she also thinks that Nynaeve is with Rand, and Nynaeve must be able to do the type of channeling where you can figure out if someone's been compulsed.
Well, she gives Nynaeve more credit than Nynaeve actually deserves, too.
Way more credit. But that's what scares her.
Yeah.
And so she thinks if Ramshalan goes back and I've compelled him, Nynaeve will be able to figure out. She thinks...
But she doesn't think that when she first gives the order. She only
Is that later?
She thinks that when she decides that she's also going to get Erengar to add on top of this. So while Delana is doing this.
To confuse it even more.
Exactly.
But I think that she just didn't tell us.
Maybe.
I think that that's why originally she doesn't do it, because she's going through all the options in her head, and she's like, okay, this dude was sent here by Rand, is going to go back to Rand, and it's probably to see whether or not I'm here or not. That's what she thinks it is. This is the test.
But she's surprised when she realizes that Rand's idea was to figure out... She's surprised.
Oh, yeah, she's totally surprised. But
that's why it wasn't pre-planned by her.
Not pre-planned, but in this moment, she decides, I'm not going to do it because I don't want Rand to figure out I'm here, I think.
Okay. I read it the opposite, where this is kind of like it's a power play on forcing Erengar, and she gets freaking lucky. She gets lucky.
I don't know. I think that she really gets really scared.
She does.
Yeah, I think that in the moment that she's scared, she is thinking...
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to reread this entire series to really dive deep into what her motivations were.
Well, you know what? We only have about a year left.
That's true.
So...
Okay.
In a year from now.
All right, so let's move on, because she also does another cool little thing.
Okay, what does she do?
She puts her brain into the eyes of a dove or whatever.
Oh, yeah, and not just a regular crow or a raven or a rat.
Yeah, crow wasn't mentioned.
No, I know, I thought of crow, but it was actually raven.
Yeah, so she gets the sight, she can see through the dove's eyes, and then she's kind of got that on like a toggle view where she can flip-flop back and forth. So she sets it up now.
Picture in picture.
Yeah, sets it up, but then puts it aside for now because we got to do some other stuff first.
Okay, so finally Erengar comes back with Delana, and Grendel carefully removes her compulsion from Ramshalan.
Important.
And this is why.
Yeah.
Because this is before Delana does it.
Yeah.
And so she makes sure she takes hers off.
I think it's a little bit of luck, because she doesn't think about the stuff until after she does that.
But why would she take hers off?
Because she wants Delana to set it up.
But why would it matter? She knows she doesn't want to trace back to her.
That's what I'm saying. It's a power play on Delana and Erengar.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're wrong.
Okay. That's okay that you think that.
That doesn't even make sense.
It does.
No.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter. She takes it off.
Because she takes hers off and then Delana puts hers on. If she wasn't concerned about Rand finding her, she could still get Delana to do a bunch of the stuff that she would want her to do. If it was a power play, why would it matter if Grendel's own is on there too?
Well, she already knows that Rand found her. She knows that Rand found her. So this isn't about...
No. This is confirmation.
That's the issue that I'm having, is Rand knows that she's here already. That's why this dude is here. And she knows it.
And then she's like, no, they're looking for confirmation that...
She doesn't think that until she's in the dove's eyes perspective, when Rand is literally having Nynaeve read the weave. And she's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, really?
He's using this as confirmation that I'm here. And that's when she dips.
Maybe I'm confused, but I'm still pretty sure.
I don't know. It's a good argument. We can do a whole thing about this. Because,
why would... she take hers off. Okay, so, anyway, Delana does some compulsion.
Yep.
And then... Grendel thinks about how Rand could have traced her here because she covered everything she did so perfectly with compulsion.
With mounds and heaps and oodles of compulsion on everybody.
And then she thinks maybe that Nynaeve woman can read my compulsion weaves.
Yes.
And so
Yeah. And again, this is where she's giving Nynaeve a little bit more credit than she probably deserves, because she doesn't actually... Okay, so
I think Nynaeve deserves credit.
She deserves...
Not all this credit, but yeah.
Grendel just thinks she can do it a step further than she actually can.
Okay.
Because that's why she wants to put some false trails here, and then after Delana's done, she tells Erengar to lay more so that she can throw extra compulsion from a man and make it even weirder for Nynaeve, who she thinks can read the weaves like super well.
So well that she can figure out, Manzus versus whatever.
And maybe if Nynaeve had more time or took more time, she might be able to. But the issue is that back in that chapter when we were in the moment, they were also freaking out about the fact that Rand was talking about blowing up Natural Barrow.
And all Nynaeve cared about was his brain's messed up.
Yeah.
For sure his brain's messed up.
And that's what happened. And I went back into just double, triple check. But at that point, she's just there's compulsion. It's a fucking mess. She doesn't differentiate.
Delve. She doesn't try to figure.
She doesn't do very much. Yeah. She's just there's compulsion. Now what's your plan? And that's when Rand's goes off.
I'm going to blow up this palace. No, wipe it off the face of ever existing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after it's done, Grendel just tells Ramshalan to get out of here and
go away.
Go away now. You're done. So he does.
Yeah. Now Grendel's gonna go back and look through the eyes of the dove to watch.
Yeah.
Ramshalan head back to where Rand is.
Yeah, we get to do a little hop and wait and fly and
sure.
It's neat.
Yeah, that part's cool. And
also a little bit scary that this is something the Forsaken can do. I don't know.
Well, this Forsaken can with the true power. She says specifically that there are only weaves that the true power can do, and then she does this.
Yeah.
And so I sort of thought it was maybe
related. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think every Forsaken can do this.
Well, is that not part of being a Forsaken, is maybe sometimes being given a little trickle of the true power?
Yeah, but not everyone. Some of them piss him off, And
you can't all the time. I'm not saying you can do it 100% of the time, but it's this is a tool in the toolbox.
And she thinks about how weird it is, and she hasn't done it in a long time.
Yeah, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Because this also could be an Age of Legends thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Unless it's true power. It's messy. It gets messy. Okay, anyways. So let's follow Ramshalan.
Okay, so she super panics because she sees Rand, and he is here right now.
Yes. Because at first she's like, oh, he sent Ramshalan to just go and report back. And now she's like, oh my goodness, he's right here.
And he's staring towards me.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Why is he here? What is actually happening?
And so Grendel focuses, tries to figure out what's going on. It's super weird looking through the eyes of a bird.
And then
ears of a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does look like Nynaeve is here and then reading the compulsion. So she notices that, and she makes a mental note that Nynaeve is going to have to die because she's, useful to Rand.
You know what? Good luck.
I just like the fact that Nynaeve now has, two people specifically going after her. Granted, Mogi
thinks she's gone.
And more personal.
Way more personal.
Way more personal.
And she thinks she's gone. And she's mind-trapped.
Yeah, I know it doesn't matter. It's just...
Although she did that while she was mind-trapped, so...
That's true.
There, you could do some things still.
You never know.
Okay. Now, at this point, Grendel, through the bird, hears Rand say something about Kalendor.
Yeah.
And she thinks, what?
Why is he talking about Kalendor?
What the heck? Why?
Yeah, so this was in his monologuing.
Then suddenly...
Oh, you want to know about the Kalendor?
Oh, yeah, I do. Okay.
Just to, line it up in timestamp.
Okay, sure.
So at this point, Rand was monologuing about Kalendor and how Nynaeve and Min weren't there when it failed him previously. Once with the zombie girl.
Yeah.
And then once when he was trying to fight the Shanshin and he ended up killing a bunch of his own troops.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how there's a flaw in Kalendor and he needs to be controlled. And then he's like, but I have this.
Right.
And that's when he pulls out.
all of a sudden, he's got the access key.
And she's like, oh no.
Yeah. And so she releases the dove, she snaps her own eyes open, and she finally understands Rand's move.
Right. So this is when she's like, okay, Ramshalan was only sent here to confirm that I'm in the tower. And then she thinks,
I gotta go.
now, because he is here. He is right here, right now.
Right. So Grendel, super fast, opens a new gateway.
Yeah.
And
Erengar gets distracted because the amount of power that Rand is pulling, Erengar, who can sense Saidin, stares off through the walls.
And is like, what is he doing?
What is happening? Because there's so much power. Yeah. Remember how much power Rand was talking about? It's more than anything he's ever, so much power. Yeah.
And then in a super short amount of time, Grendel is like, okay, here's my plan.
Right.
I need Rand to think I'm dead.
He thinks I did the compulsion.
He thinks I did the compulsion. and I didn't, so I gotta go.
Right.
And I need Erengar and Delana to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she shields Erengar and Delana.
Yeah.
And then she wraps him in air.
Oh, yeah.
And then they kind of look and they're like, what?
They're like, what are you doing?
And she leaps.
And she leaps.
It's so good. Yeah.
And rolls. Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll through the gateway.
Yep.
And she gets through just in time to turn back and
Erengar's
see.
like, Grendel? Yeah.
And then boom. Wiped off the map. There you go.
Yeah.
And she like manages to barely close the gateway in time. It's
and she
fantastic.
sees like everything consumed by Balefire, and I was like, oh my god, because till this second, I was like, it's still possible that Grendel doesn't go through a gateway.
Yeah.
Right? So until this point, I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. And that is just my favorite thing to read. When I do not know what's going to happen, I'm like, this is just fantastic to read. It gets
you, and it's a trade-off.
Anything that just like keeps me reading, I'm like, yes. So now the gateway's gone, and Grendel is left lying there, wherever she went to. Did we find out where she went?
Yeah, so she basically jumps like a short distance just out of Natron's Barrow. So she's in the forest.
Okay.
And she can walk over to the ridge and go and look where Natron's Barrow was.
Okay.
Yeah, so she had to just make a fast one just to get away, and it was like the hillside over. So she goes and gets up and looks, and she can see.
And then she feels a wave of wrongness.
It's a Bale scream.
Wash over the warping air.
The Bale scream.
Ooh, Bale scream.
Yeah, that is the...
I scream, you scream.
The pattern screams.
We all scream, Bale scream!
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, she thinks and growls about Rand and says, you become far more dangerous than I assumed.
Yeah, and also, oh my god, how many hot people did I just lose?
All of them. All my power objects and all my stuff and my things. What about my things?
All my things and my stuff.
And my people. Ugh.
And my hot people.
But she's still alive.
Yeah, and Rand thinks she's gone.
Which is good, but she also just caused the death of a Forsaken.
Ooh.
Which is...
chosen.
It can be bad.
The Great Lord isn't gonna like this one.
Possibly not.
Doesn't usually like that.
Right.
But he likes when they're all fighting for their own power, so...
That's true.
He likes when they throw each other under the bus.
I mean, at least a little bit.
I think that she's only gonna get, like, a fake talking to, you know?
Okay. It's, like, not as bad.
No.
Is she joining the Mind Trap gang? That's a question.
She might join the Mind Trap gang.
Well, then that's really bad.
For her.
Well...
Not for us.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's like medium bad for us, but that means she can't really act on her own
just
volition.
under Moradin's control, but yeah.
Yeah.
So she's getting off free, or she's being mind trapped, or option C, I guess? I don't know.
I think she'll get, like, a fake scolding, but she'll think it's real, you know?
Okay, like wrist slap. Yeah, she'll be scared, but it's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I think that motivation, that to get the power...
Right.
The selfishness is what the Dark One likes overall, right?
Yeah, it's like the self-preservation. Yeah. I get that too. Yeah. Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
My goodness. And that's just halfway through the prologue.
That's halfway. Holy moly.
That's it, folks.
We got 3 more good perspectives to come for
my people.
Episode 2. Yeah. All right.
I know, and I've already read it.
Yeah.
I'll read it again, though.
Okay.
Well, before you go ahead and completely rewrite your updated Forsaken list, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett. Produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, and Zane Sayaka. With music by Audionautics. Everyone, go ahead and be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. So you can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And make sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening, everyone. This really is part of the pattern now.